What's up, YouTube? So, I want to talk about the current R. Kelly trend right now. And what I mean by that is, you know how things, generally speaking, you know how things tend to go on trend and things tend to fall off trend, right? Kind of like things become popular, things fall out of popularity, right? And I just kind of want to explore this because how this is playing out in the media is kind of interesting. All right. And before I begin, I really need to give this disclaimer. Um, I'm not trying to defend R. Kelly or his actions. Okay. I just want to clear that up from the beginning. Okay. I'm just speaking on how people seem to follow trends based on the media, especially like in a situation like this. It's one thing to follow like a fashion trend or something. It's another thing to follow a trend when it comes to something like this. All right, so let me kind of explain where I'm coming from and demystify all this for you. All right, there's a lot of people that have been speaking up and speaking out lately, particularly people who worked with him in the past. Right, of course, there's other people too, but the ones I kind of am talking about more so are the people who worked with him in the past, right? Typically, more so like musical artists speaking up and speaking out. Chance the Rapper, Lady Gaga. Um, I don't know if John Legend worked with him or not. I don't know, but he spoke out too. All right, and I just find this all to be interesting because I'm like, well, R. Kelly was the same person he was when you worked with him, as far as I know, especially like the whole Lady Gaga situation, because she worked with him like more so later on, maybe like 2000 in the 2010s era, at least I think. So like she knew about the whole R. Kelly situation, as did a lot of people who worked with him, because these are just the people who have come up and spoken up and just saying like, it was a mistake for me to work with him. Now it's a mistake, right? And it's just like, well, where was your reasoning at when you were offered the opportunity? And also when you were able to gain something from the opportunity too, which is a little odd too. These people, like, okay, at one point in time, way back maybe like maybe between 10 and 20 years ago, it was on trend to work with R. Kelly, right? It was on trend to have R. Kelly write and produce your music, or at least a song or two. It was on trend to be R. Kelly's protege at one time, right? Right now, the trend is let's bash R. Kelly. And again, I'm not coming through to defend R. Kelly, and it's more so about the people who seem to just hop on and off the trend just because they feel like they can gain something from it, right? You know, like if this whole Lifetime documentary never came out, by the way, I haven't watched it, but if this whole Lifetime documentary never came out and brought all this to light and made this a trending topic, would these same people feel inclined to speak out now? Probably not. They would just keep going with business as usual. You know. So for me, the question is, are these people speaking out because they feel remorseful and guilty, or are they speaking out, just to ride the trend and to secure their bag, just to get the money, to keep their money good, right? So that, when people coming at them like, why did you work with R. Kelly? Because, right now it's on trend to bash R. Kelly, right? It's people just seem to be following trends. That's the thing. It's like people, I'm not sure if people are really entirely thinking on their own. And that's a little dangerous, right? Just like people were following trends working with R. Kelly, they didn't really take into account R. Kelly's past, right? With Aaliyah, with Sparkle's niece, right? And on one hand, I can kind of understand because people may be thinking, well, maybe it was just a rumor. Well, the Aaliyah thing was not a rumor, okay? That was like, there was evidence about that, all right? As was the Sparkle's niece thing, too. But perhaps it was just like, oh, it's just hearsay with the whole, like, urination videotape, right? Because to be fair, like, this whole situation first popped off, but that whole, like, urination on videotape situation, when I was, like, first in maybe, like, middle school, maybe, like, 8th grade, I think. And then throughout high school, I would always kind of hear people saying, oh, they saw the tape. And I'm like, yeah, right, there's no tape, right? Because I was like, I just thought it was just a rumor, to be honest. Just something that, folks are just making up just to act like they know about something that's exclusive or something, or that they've seen something exclusive. But from what I've heard, there actually is a tape. All right. So, I'm on the slow train with that. Um, but that tape wasn't enough to convict R. Kelly of whatever type of crime that would fall under. Um, and also a lack of a witness, or a lack of a person who testifies. I don't know the name. That slipped my mind, but no one to testify though, because from what I've heard, Sparkle and the family basically was paid off. Word on the street, allegedly, right? Allegedly, R. Kelly was on the videotape too, right? Allegedly, you know. But I think this is just needs to be a lesson for everybody, and just like we have to kind of. There's a lot of lessons to really get from this. The lesson that I'm talking about in this video more so would probably be like, stop following the trend so much and just do what's right, not necessarily what's popular. Because at this time, this is what's popular. Now, if this was like 15 to 20 years ago, speaking out against R. Kelly would not be popular, right? And perhaps you could even get in trouble and, perhaps take a hit in your career because of that, right? Right now, people are just doing it partially, I think, because it's popular, right? Let me get some cool points by speaking out against R. Kelly, so I can look like, I'm going against, the big bad wolf or whatever. And it's just like, and also Lady Gaga, she has a song about, I believe, like, sexual assault. Um, I believe it's called Until It Happens to You, right? She has a song speaking about that, which is a bit strange that she would work with R. Kelly. I don't know which came first, the song about, sexual assault or working with R. Kelly, but nevertheless, those things happen, both of those things happen. And I believe she may have even been a victim of sexual assault, from what I've heard, actually. So it even raises more of a question, you know? And again, I'm not trying to alleviate R. Kelly of blame, but I just want to kind of like focus on people jumping on and off trends in situations like this versus doing what's right in situations like this, right? Doing what's not popular in situations like this, right? Because this is how this type of stuff continues to happen, because people are afraid to just stand alone in their truth. And I know it can be tough, especially when you have like so much pushback against you and you could lose something. And, we all don't have the safety to speak out against things that are fucked up. Okay, like some of us could, lose our livelihood over that. Just in general, we can lose Like if we speak out against white supremacy, we could possibly lose our livelihood over that, right? That's why some people on YouTube stay anonymous. Don't show their face. You don't know who they are. They make sure not to, use a code name, right? As well, you could be even turn yourself into a target for even violence, right? People can get violent with you too, you know. As well, people will disengage with you, you know, not just the people who you are, you know, who you're calling out, but also people who are associated with the people who you're calling out will disengage with you. So you can get yourself blackballed from the industry too. So yeah, I understand that it's can be tough to speak out in situations like this, right? Nevertheless, I think that it needs to happen. I think that somebody needs to push this forward, just in general, but especially in this case like this. And it kind of took seemingly lifetime to make a documentary about this, to push this forward and to get the ball rolling, you know. And again, this will probably just be a news story that will die down at one point or another. Will justice come from it? I don't know. I don't know. Um, I don't think, as far as the black community is concerned, I don't really think the black community wants to see justice served. I don't really think they really care too much about um, the plight of the young women that kind of got caught up in the situation, no matter their ages. I don't think they want to see R. Kelly get dragged, you know. Again, the black community. And also, this just goes to show that, seemingly, I think if justice is going to come, it's probably going to come because mainstream media, aka white folks, pushing it, not because of black folks pushing it. Lifetime ain't a black, quote unquote, a black network. They got like black folks on the network, but it ain't like a quote unquote black network like you would expect from, like, say, a TV One or a Bounce or even like bum ass BET. So again, this is all very interesting. And I'll say that, I do have, I say my white fave does have a song that was written and produced by R. Kelly. Thankfully, my white fave has been able to fly under the radar with this and has not been, called to task over this. Also, I think it was just one song within the whole career. Also, the song, low key, it kind of was a single, but it didn't have a music video. It was supposed to, but the music video got scrapped because the artist got injured, and the music video was supposed to even be associated with the Halle Berry Catwoman movie, right? But because of the injury, they just scrapped it, and they chose another musical artist and video and song for the Halle Berry Catwoman movie. And that's a bit strange because that was so long ago. Like, that's strange though. But that was like a blessing in disguise. That was definitely a blessing in disguise. And as well, the song is, like, for me, a song that I could take or leave. It isn't like, oh my God, how could you leave this off the set list? Like, no, you can't leave this one off. But, for this song, like, yeah, I can take it or leave it. And I don't even think the artist has performed the song in over, like, probably like at least 10 years, if not more. But yeah, interesting. Also, before I end this video, I do want to speak on Aaliyah and kind of just say a few things. One, how do you guys think this would all play out if Aaliyah was still alive? I feel like that question hasn't been put out there, right? And of course, we all know, unfortunately, Aaliyah is not with us anymore. May she rest in peace. As sad as it is, I don't think she is able to rest in peace because of this whole situation and her name getting continuously being dragged into this. Yeah. But a question: do you think that if she were alive, you think she would defend R. Kelly? Do you think that she would denounce R. Kelly and go against him, or do you think that she would be silent? You should stay quiet. You know, I kind of think she would just end up very much just trying to stay quiet and stay on the radar and just avoid all this. Aaliyah didn't strike me as the type that was, I would say, extremely confrontational and looking for drama and that, sort of a thing. And I think that she still, like, she liked R. Kelly, which, that situation to me, I kind of feel like if it was just the Aaliyah situation and that's it, I think R. Kelly would be in a much better place, honestly. And I feel like people gave him a pass on the Aaliyah situation. Even though there was a big difference in age and Aaliyah was underage, I think people did give R. Kelly a pass with Aaliyah, you know. And you would think that, he would just be like, okay, he kind of got away with it, more or less. He didn't have to do any time or, you know, take a hit to his career as far as I'm concerned, as far as I know. So you kind of like, okay, all right. You think he would just be satisfied with that. But unfortunately, that was just the beginning. Aaliyah was, just the test subject to what he had in store, unfortunately. Um, but yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention his children actually spoke out against him too and said that he was a monster. And he has a transgender daughter too. His wife, I don't know about his wife or his ex-wife. I don't know if they still married or not. I don't know. Um, uh, but also, I do want to bring up, I hate the fact that Aaliyah can't defend herself in this situation, right? Because low key, people probably are coming at Aaliyah saying that she was basically a thought. It's just an underage thought. You know how some people are turning around and make it seem like she seduced him, like this 15-year-old woman. Well, they'll put it as a woman, but this 15-year-old girl, like, just led him astray. It's like led this 27-year-old man astray, right? He didn't have no control. He just, you know, couldn't control himself, right? um, Also, I'm sure her family doesn't really enjoy all this negative attention, and as well, this whole situation, it slightly tarnishes Aaliyah's legacy, because now it always R. Kelly, this whole R. Kelly situation, always being brought up, always coming up. Why? Well, we know why, but it's just like, yeah, that sucks, right? It's a distraction, right? Yeah, it's a terrible situation. Um, there's another aspect that I kind of want to talk about, but I'm going to save it for another video. I kind of want to talk about the power dynamics that are involved in predator protection and victim blaming. And I kind of want to talk about how using this situation, the R. Kelly situation, as sort of an example and a point of departure. So, pretty much, I think I've said all I have to say for the moment. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section. I'll catch you in the next video. Until then, adios and goodbye for now. But before I go again, I just kind of want to give my disclaimer again. I'm not trying to defend R. Kelly, okay, or his actions. I'm just speaking on how people, again, seem to sort of follow trends versus just doing what needs to be done and what should be done and what's right. So thanks for watching.